I'm here with former Camden great Vic Keffen, and it's all about sports. Terry Collins. And Vic, how's it feel to be coming back to Camden where you once was a star?
That's a great feeling. Something that it's going to be a memory for me forever. I grew up in this program. When I left the program, I was always pretty close to what was going on, and opportunity came a few years back, and I jumped at the chance to give back to the kids and to the city.
So what do you do now?
I work for an accounting firm, a CPA firm in Cherry Hill, Holmes and Company's CPA
great.
firms.
Now, I want to take you down memory lane. You came after Milt Wagner and those guys, Thompson.
Yes.
So they had created a great legacy.
Oh, no doubt.
So did you feel pressure? It's your freshman year, and now you're the guy, and they're gone, and now you got to start winning state championships just like all the other teams?
But when I was growing up watching Milt and Billy Thompson and Kevin Walls as a kid, it was almost like pros to me. So the thought of having an opportunity to play as a freshman was mind-boggling. It was something I couldn't even grasp. But when I got here, I prepared myself well in the 8th grade and got an opportunity. And Coach Turner gave me some confidence as a young player, and I took that and ran with it my 4 years.
What was Coach Turner's philosophy? I was always fascinated by that.
Well, he was a very good coach. X's and O's motivator, one of the best motivators as far as getting guys to play and getting different players who had different abilities and pulling the most out of them. And he pushed me. He gave me a ton of confidence. I believed in myself. He believed in me. And it wasn't a game, a team we played that he didn't feel we couldn't beat. So
who's on your team? Your freshman year?
My freshman year, wow. This guy, Kenny Smith, he went to Kentucky State. Tyrone Gilliams played at the University of Penn. Sean Mosby went to UMass. Lewis Banks was a junior. He went on to Cincinnati, University of Cincinnati. Wasim Muhammad, pictures up there, played in New Mexico.
Wow.
We had a pretty good team. We lost to Elizabeth, who had a guy named Chris Gatlin.
Your sophomore year. Your freshman year, you won national championship.
No, my sophomore year, we won the national championship.
Sophomore year, you won the national championship. You're in the 10th grade, you win national championship.
Yeah, that was a pretty amazing feeling. We got a chance to play some teams during that year that were ranked in the top 10.
Wow.
We won those games, and we just kept the momentum.
Now, who'd you beat in the state final?
We beat Montclair High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a good Montclair team, too.
Yeah.
They upset a lot of teams to get there.
There was double overtime game. It was a good game.
Yeah. Where's that? Rutgers?
It was at Rutgers.
Now, your junior year, you win again.
Went back to Rutgers, and we beat Patterson Kennedy.
Patterson Kennedy. Yeah. That was James Hargrove?
James Hargrove.
See, I know a little bit about history.
You are taking me back. He became a good friend of mine. We played against each other in Atlantic 10. He was at Duquesne.
Okay.
So,
and then your senior year, you guys lost to Luther Wright and Elizabeth. That's his sophomore year. And you guys were fouling him because he was still young. You made this comeback from 60 down, almost pulled it out.
Yeah,
Did you run out of gas? What happened in that game?
I think about that game all the time. We were my best friend, and he's graduated with me also, Denny Brown. We will be the first players to win 3 straight championships in Camden High history, and that team I thought was the best team out of my 4 years. That particular team, we were loaded. Our third best player, he averaged 19 points a game, and he went and led the MEAC in scoring. Jermaine Williams, 6'7", 6'8" forward. So that hurts. That game hurts. It was. I thought we was the best team in the state that year. Had 2 losses, and they came to play, and Luther played big.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he's one of my buddies, too.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions you want to ask him? We have Terry Collins. It's all about sports.
Earlier we had spoke about how Camden seems to have like a next man up mentality where you'll see a star leaves and another star is kind of coming in on the horizon. As we spoke of just a minute ago with Milt Wagner, Billy Thompson, actually DeJuan Wagner, yourself, and Nate Johnson and more. What do you think it is about the city of Camden that gets these kids going early to come in as early stars?
Well, before you come here, you're going to get a city that's behind you. I mean, a lot of schools live in townships and areas and different little areas, but you really get the city behind you. And wherever we play at, it's a big, I don't care what type of team we have, people think it's going to be, we want to see Camden play. And I believe younger kids, and we don't have that many kids in the city, but the good ones, they want to follow that history. It's a good history.
Now let me ask you something. When you played, what was the playground that it was the most competitive playground all the stars played at around here? So I'm fascinated because I'm from North Jersey, so I want to know where was the play where all the ballers played
Well,
in
you
the
know,
summer?
if you speak to different people, they'll tell you some different playgrounds. I played everywhere.
Okay.
I grew up downtown. I played on 5th and 8th and Spruce Street courts. That's where I would get up 5, 6 in the morning. Everybody watching, just hearing me dribbling the ball to the court. People played in the 9th and Ferry.
What was the most competitive that you played on?
9th and Ferry when I got to high school
Ferry.
was like, that was the court. That was a gated
That
court.
made you or broke you.
We would come out there in high school and get it in. We would night games, the lights come on. We were out calling each other. We're gonna play. Guys from college came home. We would get it in high school at 9th and Ferry. But kids, they don't play like that anymore on their courts and outdoor courts. And I tell these young guys, I say that's where you get the feel for the game, man. That's where you get to the little nuances of the game by playing it, without referees, and you guys are just going at it. You get a good feel for it, and I think we're missing that in today's basketball.
Finally, do you think this team could finally get over the hump? They've lost a few games in the finals, and they're trying to get that state championship to bring that tradition back to Camden. Can this group do it finally?
Well, you would think we have still have a long road to go. I like what we had. We lost probably our best player.
Yeah, ACL.
And Corey Greer, and I think we've been going through a process like the Sixers. We're trying to figure out what guys can step in, and different guys have been doing it all year. And we have a shot, but we got to win one. Like my college coach said, win one, buy one. You get there, you win one, you buy another one. That's all we can do. Win one, buy one. So.
One last question, real quick, before you go. When is somebody going to put together an alumni all-star game? That's what we want to know.
Well, they tried that a few years back, and I played, and it was about 6, 7 years ago, and that's probably the last time I played. But they try to do things here and there. Guys are all over the place, the country living. A guy named Lou Banks, he's in Ohio. We got Milt down in Kentucky. So to get a really, really good one, everybody would be special.
Definitely.
So, I would come to that. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm here with Camden legend Arthur Barclay. Now, Arthur, how does it feel to be back here at Camden, where you and Dewan Wagner were the stars?
Oh, it's great. I've been involved for the last 9, 10 years as a volunteer. I look forward to it every year. This is something that's near and dear to my heart, and I don't see myself never stopping. I think I'm gonna do it till I die.
You guys brought the title back into Camden. They were down after the 80s, and then that particular year, you guys came back off of suspension, and then you really put in work with Coach Jackson.
Jackson, yep.
And how was that season? Just describe that magical season.
You know what? It's hard to explain it in a good way, because there was so many good things, good vibes that what happened. Wani's sitting right over there.
Yes.
And, every time people are like you talk to him, I'm like, it's my brother. We talk. We don't see each other as much because we're working all that, but we talk every day.
You had his back that year.
I got his back to the day I die. We got this one term. We say, I'm my brother's keeper.
I want to talk about the Shabazz State Championship. That was the loudest I've ever heard Rutgers.
You know about that game. We knew we had him. We didn't talk trash. Our plan spoke for itself. We about to do the tip off. One of the guys looked at us and said, we ain't scared of y'all. We don't care if y'all from Camden. We looked like we knew it was over, because right there we knew they were scared. So I think we beat by like 30 points that game. Then
destroyed them.
And then we moved to the tournament champions against Florence. St. Pat's beat that. That's when Wani had jumped off the wrong leg.
Yes.
And that's the crazy story. And Seton Hall Prep, and I didn't. Us. A lot of people don't know. Us and Shawnee are the only 2 boys basketball team in South Jersey win the TLC.
To win the TLC.
Yeah.
Before I turn it over to my man, the crowd. Because I remember one year I came and the crowd said, "We want the dunk." And then Dewan Wagner looked at him, and then he threw it down backwards. This is one of the best crowds in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, and then they still got the chance. You want the high, you got the high. And every time I won, he shot, like, woo.
Yes.
And they used to do that with his dad and all that. So, this is history, man. This is I tell our boys, man, this is why you play basketball.
Yes.
Games like this. Win or lose, you fight.
Yes.
You fight. This is why you put that jersey on. It's an honor and a privilege to put that jersey on. That's why we try to tell those kids, this is I went to the Memphis and Temple game a few weeks ago. I saw Coach Tubby Smith. First thing he said, Camden High, Arthur Barclay, Arthur O.G. Barclay. Talking about everybody knows about Camden High.
Everybody
it's
knows
a
about
nationally
Camden
known
High.
program.
Yes. You have a question, Terry Collins?
Quick question, Arthur. How would you say, we talked about the history of such great players and great teams that have come through Camden City. How would you say that the pressure of previous teams and previous talented players, how would you say the pressure is helping these kids today?
That's a very complicated question, but it's a good question because, like I said, these kids, they got to understand the history. A lot of them don't understand the history of school. You look up there, you see all the 1,000-point scores, 2,000-point scores. Even some people, some guys didn't play to their senior year because that's how stacked the teams were.
Right.
And another downfall, I think, with the social media stuff. They'll read a little article and they have their boys or their family gassing them up. You the man, and then they, I asked any of them, like, anybody here All-American? No. Anybody here All-State? No. So you play like it's your last game. Like Allen Iverson used to say, played every game like it's his last. You never know.
Yeah, finally, there is rumored that they're going to tear this high school up and have a new one.
Oh, it's not a rumor. It's not a rumor. Yes.
Now.
Yes, and we deserve it.
What does this building, when you played it, mean to you, finally?
Oh, it meant everything because just, me and Wani, we this is way back. We used to watch old games with the VHS tapes. His dad and all them. So when we got here, it was an honor and pride to put this. We couldn't wait. We were literally like be up all night just antsy about our game. So it's history, man. But back to the school. It's not a rumor. We got 132.6 million to be exact. We knocked the school down, which is long overdue.
Good.
Downstairs, it's bad. It's time for a change. The school is over 100 years old. So.
What would you say is your biggest moment in this gym?
The biggest moment was, I would say, my last game there, because as a kid, I waited so long to put this uniform on and play here. So when it was over, it was bittersweet, but it was sweet on it because I was able to play so you couldn't play no more. Winning the state championship and tournament champions championship, so it was bittersweet, but I love every second of it. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Robert, that's what I love about Camden. Get my hair on the camera. Close that.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Clarence Turner Gymnasium and the 2017 edition of the Camden Showcase. I'm Jacob Schwartz of the It's All About Sports Broadcasting Network, alongside Ron Fix and Rob Page. This is the game and matchup that everybody's waiting for, the North versus the South. It's nationally ranked St. Anthony's taking on the Camden Panthers. Ron, we got to talk about, certainly we had this discussion during the break, but this is, again, as mentioned, the matchup we've all been waiting for. St. Anthony's in the possible verge of yet another tournament champions. They are the reigning TOC and NJSIA Group B champions. They're going up against probably a team that is on the rise. Twice Camden has been in the state championship in the Group 2, and twice they have come up short. But this team is hungry. What must Camden do to make another run? Is this the matchup that can really get this thing going?
Well, for Camden to win this game, they have to break the pressure. It's so simple. They have to break the pressure all game long. Their ball handling has to be excellent. It has to be at 110%. They have to have the best ball handler turnover to point ratio they have had all year.
Now, Camden will be today and all season long without one of their star guards, Corey Greer. He tore his ACL during the season. We bring in our third analyst, Robert Page, the CEO of It's All About Sports. Rob, you live here in the Camden area. You've seen this Panther team all year round. What must this team do, again, as mentioned, against a top-notch program like St. Anthony's? R.J. Cole and Alex Rice are the new names, having replaced Jagan Mosley, Javarius Hayes, and, again, Shaquan Gibbs.
Camden has to keep the pace up. Well, let's hold on a minute here, ladies and
Well,
gentlemen.
let's hold on actually a second.
National anthem.
We're going to get Rob's opinion in a few moments with the national anthem coming up again. St. Anthony and Camden here at Camden High School in the Camden Showcase. Performed by the Camden Pep Band. Let's bring back again Rob Page for his insight on today's matchup between Camden and St. Anthony's. Again, Rob, St. Anthony's graduates 5 Division I players a season ago, but this is still a very tough St. Anthony team as usual. Camden does lose its top player in Corey Greer. What is the insight on today's game?
Well, the insight on today's game is Camden has to keep the pace up. St. Anthony's has a great defensive team. Not so much great as offense. They want to run ahead, keep the game in the 40s. Camden needs to get the game in the 50s and the 60s. If Camden keeps the tempo up in this game today and controls the ball, they can pull off the upset and beat St. Anthony's for the first time since 1978.
And you heard that right here, ladies and gentlemen. Bob Hurley, the Hall of Fame coach, undefeated against Camden. Camden has not won since, again, as mentioned, has not won in 39 years. Again, the 40-year anniversary is coming up again next year in 2018. Camden, again, as mentioned, is always a team that can give you trouble no matter where you go, no matter what team, again, you play. Miles Thompson is one of the big names to keep an eye out for. John Evans and Ethan Tarnay are two of the most formidable backcourt duos in all of South Jersey. I'm looking forward to what I think should be a very good matchup. Let's look at the starting lineups again for both of these teams. And we'll start with St. Anthony. And again, gentlemen, though that this team does not have a high major Division I player, they do sport R.J. Cole, who is headed to the Howard University next season. And he has certainly been a big name to be reckoned with. We see him a lot of players.
From last year to this year, he got even better.
It really,
and I think Howard got a steal. I really do. I think Howard got a steal. They got a really good player coming in.
Well, he's in the starting five along with Demetrius Plexidas. Alexander Rice, the son of Monmouth head coach King Rice, Xavier Aquawavo, and Ethel Horton. Still no Nigel Marshall. I'm told, according to coaches, he'll be out for a week with an injury. I think it was a knee injury.
I think Ethel Horton really changed their offense when he transferred in. He's really given them an offensive punch.
We've seen a lot of Ethel Horton. That's the big name to keep an eye out for. For Camden, it's Ethan Tart, John Evans, Miles Thompson, Daquan Williams, another name, the 6'7 senior, spent his summer with team final, and his stock certainly went up. He is expected to play college next season. Again, Keyshawn Simmons. We're underway again with the start of Camden versus St. Anthony's.
Camden wins the tip. Camden wins the tip, and there's Daquan Williams for the slam dunk.
Good start again, as mentioned by Camden, as Daquan Williams goes with the easy slam. Cedric Smith, Jason Smith, and Mike Maggin Ridge are the officials for today's game. Bob Hurley in his 45th season, the NBA, or should say, the one of 3 high school coaches ever to be inducted into the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. John Valor in his 3rd season, former standout at Cherry Hill East.
Big
Good
rebound
start again, as mentioned by Camden. In front of a packed house again, as expected. 2 years ago, on a cold day, Camden certainly came up a little bit short against 2 top-notch players like Marcus McDuffie and Torian Thompson. Good bounce pass again. Plexidas, that shot won't go.
So far, Camden's defense has really been good.
John Valor must not be happy with what he's seeing. Calls a timeout to... I didn't understand. Did anybody, Ron, anybody expect that at all?
Injury timeout. The guy got injured.
Yeah, Tart's hurt.
Maybe there's your answer. Ethan Tarte walking off the court.
Oh, man, they need him too.
Seriously injured. And you've already lost again Corey Greer for the season with a torn ACL. Now I understand again why the Panthers called a 30-second timeout. This is a very
that's going to hurt.
Maybe it was a shoulder injury by Tarde. As into the game comes Nasir Hinson, one of 2 Hinsons to play. Now Tarde did not leave the game, as it looks like he's okay.
He's back. He's back now. He's ready. He's a warrior. Ethan's a warrior. He's going to do whatever he has to do to play in this game.
Well, you got to wonder again if Ethan Tarde, maybe they popped his shoulder in. I don't even know exactly what happened. Here again is Nasir Hinson in the ball game. 3 points.
Not bad.
I believe that's Nasir Hinson, the
Yes,
5'6" junior. He can get it going. So can the Panthers. Good start for them against nationally ranked St. Anthony's. Ball brought up again by the future Howard University player R.J. Cole. Back into the hands of Alexander Rice. He's got a great future at St. Anthony's. He's the son of Monmouth's coach King Rice, and he has certainly built some basketball in his own way. He has become certainly a name for the next few years. Plays with We Are One during the game this season. Traveling violation for the, I should say, the French-Haitian Xavier Aquawabo. We saw St. Anthony's, Rob, back on January 1st against Pope John 23. What was the thing you were most impressed with about St. Anthony's offense?
I wasn't impressed with their offense at all that day because they could not. Their defense, I'm really impressed with. Their offense that day was sour. They couldn't score. I think the score is in the low 40s.
Well, defensively, they shut down Jack
they
Kavanaugh and Sama Diallo, 2 of the top players in the state of New Jersey. And today, they're going to counter certainly with some top-notch type of talent. But like you said, Camden can score in bunches. They don't need to have a superstar to win this game.
No, they don't. No.
And right now, they've got a 5-0 start. Here is Plexidas, guarded again by Thompson, the talented junior sensation. Cole, when he's hot, he can get it going.
Camden is controlling the boards. They're only giving it 1 shot, which is key.
Cole in the second half, I believe, had 27 points.
And that's big, too. They're hitting the wide open.
Keyshawn Simmons answers with his first 3-pointer.
Now, I will say this much. If Keyshawn starts hitting shots, St. Anthony's has a problem.
Where did Keyshawn Simmons come from?
He's always been here. He didn't play last year. He's a part of the freshman class. The seniors this year, they were real special.
Well, he's made an impact already with the first 3. Foul is called on Camden.
Fellas, I think hitting the open shot is so big against St. Anthony's defense. When you get an opportunity, you got to strike.
Yes, you have to make it. Yes.
7-0 again, as mentioned. I believe that last basket for Simmons, I believe they're going to rule a 2 because it's 7-0 and not 8-0. Inside again to Cole, guarded well by Hinson. Cole, good spin move, swatted away by Williams. And the ball's still in play, and I don't even think the Panthers or Friars even knew about it.
I didn't even know about it. I didn't see it.
It's amazing to see what type of defense this Camden team is playing. Williams again in trouble, doubled up,
block.
shot blocked by Aquawavo. It's a fight for the ball, and it's going to fall into the hands again of Evans. This Camden crowd again, as mentioned, came, and they are right behind their South Jersey team. Camden looking for its first wins against St. Anthony since 1978. Another foul. It's going on Xavier Aquawavo. Good start again.
Yes, great start for Camden. Great start here for Camden.
Now, I know that, Rob, I know you're a homegrown. You were born, of course, here in Camden, but how excited are you to see a crowd like this?
This brings back memories, seeing this. I'll tell you, I come from the 70s here, and basketball was awesome in the 70s and 80s and the early 90s.
And there's been a lot of great talent. Even the great DeJuan Wagner, who is here today, never had the privilege of beating St. Anthony himself. DeJuan Wagner, who is the all-time leading scorer in South Jersey history. He's
New Jersey. Good hustle.
The entire state, I should actually say. My apologies. And we have another whistle and foul. But this is a jump ball. Excuse me, jump ball. I thought it was a foul. Jump ball, and the Friars will get it here. I don't know what's going on with this St. Anthony team. Maybe they're jet lagged after a 2-hour drive. They've got to get something going, and they've got to get something going right now. Cole brings the ball up, guarded well by Nasir Hinson. Gets the screen from Aquawavo. Back into the hands again. From the corner, three is good, and St. Anthony is finally on the board.
That's their shooter. He can flat out shoot the basketball.
That basket, by the way, was scored by Ethiel Horton. And Ron, you mentioned to me that Ethiel Horton can get something going here.
He's their scorer.
He is their top guy. What is it that we need to know about a guy like Ethiel Horton?
Well, he's instant offense. And when he came in, it added an infusion of offense because they're offensively challenged at times, like Robert was talking about. But this kid transferred in, and he gives them a punch, and they need it to go along with this terrific defense they play.
Into the game, Nika Cheklushville from, I believe, from out of the United States. I want to say he's from Croatia. As the ball goes to John Evans, finds Tarnay, dumping it inside again to Daquan Williams. Started well again by Nika. Shot won't go, but look at Thompson there. And you don't want to touch a guy like Thompson. He's 6'7". He comes in at about 250 pounds of pure muscle. In fact, the book actually says he's 6'5", 235 pounds. I think he's bigger than that, in my opinion.
Well, he trimmed some weight, so he may be down to 235 now.
I noticed that he was a little bit bigger.
He's more athletic now than he ever was.
Cole again, he loves the pull-up, finds Nika. Nika, no good. Rebound again, secured by Nika. Finds this man again. Plexinas, that score is, or I should say that basket is good. That was actually, by the way, Mark Walker. That basket scored by I think that was Mark Walker with that basket. Get back! Or was it? I think that was actually Plexinas. He's got his first 2 points. 9-5 again. 2 minutes, or at least approaching. Cole connects.
That's what makes Cole better than he was last year.
Yes, I see this now, yes.
We've seen this a bunch of times out of the New Jersey basketball player, headed to Howard University this coming fall. What an impact he's going to make right away, and expect him to be a starter right away.
You're in the 4 slot. Come on.
That foul is...
Personal second team foul.
2 quick fouls on Demetris Plexinas, and he's going to come out right away. And Bob Hurley certainly showing words of wisdom.
I think what you're going to do to see on St. Anthony's end is more high screen and rolls where Cole comes off that screen, either pass or shoot that mid-range jump shot. I think they're going to try to work that a little bit more.
To the line goes number 13, Keeson Simmons. He's on the board again. Camden off to a very good start. Rob Page mentioning that Camden's got to get out to a good start.
Yes, they need to score. They need to score in the 50s and 60s in order to win this game.
But they have been very successful here today. In fact, they've had a very good week. Just a week ago, they knocked off the then undefeated St. Augustine. In fact, St. Anthony just played St. Augustine just this past Tuesday night, and what a lot of people were saying was a battle between two of the longest-living Jersey coaches. In fact, between the two of them, these are two coaches who have over 15, if not more, 100 wins between the two of them.
Yes, that game was 49-48. St. Augustine lost to St. Anthony's 49-48 on Tuesday night. Good pass.
Thompson inside again. Back-to-back baskets. Nika and then Miles Thompson with the basket. Nika, Czech-Lashville. Miles Thompson, there is Nika, Czech-Lashville with back-to-back field goals. And right now, both teams are just trading baskets.
The game is opened up now. The game is opened up now.
I think St. Anthony has realized that they're off the bus, they've come to work.
Yes. I'll tell you one thing, though, I've noticed, Rob, is Camden is going right after these guards at St. Anthony's. It's not easy to be able to get north and south and east and west on these guards. And they're doing it so far.
By the way, in case anybody's wondering, Alexander Rice called for the personal. And that's his first personal. At the line, shooting once again, will be Keeson Simmons. Into the game comes number 32, Curtis Huff. He's a 6'1" senior.
Yeah, Huff creates a lot of energy for the team. Football player, came out for basketball this year. He does all the dirty work around the basket.
Well, Camden always, that's the thing people love about this Camden program, is that they're a team that loves to play football, as always tops in South Jersey. And, of course, is always a very well-respected basketball program, not just in the entire state of New Jersey, but the entire United States. Under a minute again remaining, and Camden leads 15-11 against the 19-4 St. Anthony High School team. St. Anthony's certainly not the team they were a year ago, undefeated en route to a TOC and state championship, as R.J. Cole buries the three. That's his fifth point of the night, 15-14.
You know St. Anthony's going to run their sets. It's more like you're trying to beat the system as much as the players.
Absolutely. Final seconds again here in this one, as again Camden's still on top by one. They find Hinson, guarded well again by Cole, and you know he does it well on the defensive front. Hinson again in trouble, dumping it back. Thompson from the wing, shot good, and it's 17-14. Miles Thompson has certainly hit his stride. Thompson with 6. Final 10 seconds remaining. Alex Rice, he's got to maybe go somewhere, or he's got to think about shooting. He finds Cole. Can he get the buzzer? No, there's a whistle. They'll say it's a travel.
It was a travel.
Yeah, it was.
And Coach Hurley cannot believe it.
I think he's mad at Rice for not taking the shot.
Yes.
Final seconds again. This is the buzzer, and I think it would have counted by John Evans. What a first quarter start as Camden leads nationally ranked St. Anthony 17-14. And the It's All About Sports Broadcast Network and the Camden Showcase here at Camden High.
Got fees. Ew, really?
Oh, it's our Verizon bill.
Look at them. Line access fee, administrative fees. There are even taxes on top of them.
Decent people shouldn't have to live like this.
Did I get it?
T-Mobile ends surprise fees and taxes. That's right. With T-Mobile One, taxes and fees are now included. 4 lines, $40 each. All unlimited, all in. Learn more at a T-Mobile store.
We're back now. We're back.
Back here at Camden High School, the Clarence Turner Gymnasium. Here at the School of Camden High. Jacob Schwartz, Rob Page, Ronald Finch. What a matchup we have for you. The third of 4 games of the Camden Showcase. Paul the 6th with a win over Paulsboro. Haddonfield with a win over Rancocas Valley, both one-sided affairs. And now, folks, it's Camden St. Anthony's. Camden off to a 9-0 or 7-0 run, and Camden has got it going on here. Miles Thompson has led the way. Actually, Keeson Simmons and Thompson both with 6 points each. R.J. Cole, as expected, he was the team's leading scorer with a 5-point performance. Nasir Hinson again with the basketball. And again, moments during the first, Ethan Tarnay left the game. Now he is on the bench, but looked to be a shoulder, and he looks like he's coming back in for the first time since early in the first. Oh, he's been back in. I apologize, folks. Ethan Tarnay has been, I guess you could say, has been coming in and out, I guess you could say. But Tarnay, I guess it was only for a few minutes, so he is back in the ballgame. In the meantime, 17-14 following a travel. Here's the future Howard player, and a foul right away committed by John Evans. Evans immediately with the personal. His first personal, team's second.
Now, this is a battle of attrition. How good in shape is Camden? That's what we're going to find out.
Well, endurance, like you said, Rod, is certainly going to be the key for Camden if they want to stay in this game with this team, because they are going to have to go basically basket for basket. We all remember in 1985 when Villanova shot 68% or better in their win over nationally ranked Georgetown, who was the #1 team in the country. That's pretty much what Camden is going to have to do today if they want to stay in front with the St. Anthony team. Because once St. Anthony gets going, they're almost tough to guard. Alex Rice to the line here, and Xavier Aquawava will return, and he'll replace, I believe that's Nika Cheklashville. I can't even pronounce his name. It's a tough one. Rice again, certainly basketball blood in his family. The son of the great King Rice, the head coach at Monmouth, as Rice gets both, and he's got two. He's a 6'2 sophomore. His future, Rod, certainly set at St. Anthony's.
St. Anthony's with some pressure. They want to see if they can break him a little bit.
He's come on in a big way as a sophomore, replacing Jagan Mosley, Javaris Hayes, and Shaquan Gibbs. Miles Thompson from downtown. A rare three. How about a rare three for the big man, Miles Thompson?
He's locked in right now.
He shoots that three. Miles,
I've
that's
never seen him
yes.
shoot, Rob, I have never seen him shoot that three-pointer.
Yes, I've seen him shoot that three so many times.
Left his hand.
So R.J. Cole gets the ball back again. St. Anthony really could use a guy like Nigel Marshall today. Marshall is another body that can get you about 10 to 15 a game, but he's out with an injury. As Cole gets it back, his step-back pull-up good, and an easy two for Cole. He's got 7. When Cole gets hot, Cole is tough to stop. Another steal again by the Friars. And for the first time today, the Friars can tie or take the lead with a three.
Yes, like I said earlier, Camden has to take care of the basketball. Right now, that's been the difference in this game.
That was a good example of not taking care of the ball.
Yeah, it's been the difference in the game right now. I mean, Camden has 6 or 7 point lead, and St. Anthony's has capitalized on their turnovers.
We know that they love to trap. They've taken complete advantage of that. That's as a lot of these North powerhouse teams from New Jersey. Basket good again by Demetrius Plexidas, and for the first time tonight, we're tied at 20. 2 minutes gone by. A tie ball game here at Camden High School at the Clarence Turner Gymnasium. John Evans, floater, no good. Rebound, and it's going the other way, I believe.
This
it's
is
going to be on the high.
crucial little period for Camden right now.
Yes, this is a very crucial period right now.
It appears the wheels are starting to kind of fall off little by little.
They better get the wheels back in a hurry. That's all I can
all the
tell you.
momentum.
See that corner shot, Tom, when you penetrate.
A loose ball foul called on Camden, and now the wheels are in motion for the defending TOC champion, St. Anthony Friars. Cole with the basketball. Hands it off. Rice three, no good. Rebound again, but look at Plexidas there. And again, lack of rebounding again. It will stay St. Anthony ball. And wait a second, this looked like this could have been Camden basketball. Fans not happy with that as Nika Cheklashville and Cliff St. Justy, the 6-foot senior. Very underrated type of basketball player. Very good outside shooter as well, St. Justy, but a very good ball handler. And that's the thing that St. Anthony has always brought, is good ball handling type of skills. That too is good, and for the first time today, St. Anthony has taken their first lead of the game as Ethel Horton with his 5th point. It's 22-20, St. Anthony on top.
Slow down.
Offensive foul again. Things going from bad to worse for this Camden High basketball team after a very good start. This second quarter has absolutely belonged to the defending TOC champions.
Because it didn't look like he had position at all on that one. That was close.
Oh, I think that was the correct call.
Well, you know what it was, though? He dipped his shoulder, even though he was still moving. That's why they probably called offensive foul.
Well, I still think that St. Anthony has just gotten the momentum their way. Cole for three. No, rebound again. That was a big miss again. Doesn't look like St. Anthony, again, as mentioned, was gaining this momentum. And I'll tell you what, I'm a little surprised John Evans decided not to take that two. Evans had the lane. Why is he kicking it out? Horton on the dump off. He scores again. And Ethel Horton, 7 in a row for Ethel Horton. 24-20 with 4:30 left to go until halftime. Miles Thompson again. Guarded well again by Plexidas. Thompson shot up, no rebound. There's nobody there to crash the board. Somebody's got to get on the boards for this.
Yeah, this doesn't look good here. You might have to call a timeout if they had scored that 3.
Yeah, and now they're getting offensive rebounds now.
Yep.
Well, once again, like you mentioned, Rob, St. Anthony is completely out-rebounding Camden. Just when it looked like Camden was on a roll, the Friars have a little something cooking here.
Yes, they do.
Colin, good defensive.
He's on a roll now.
He's another 3 again. Cole with 10.
Call timeout, right?
A great step-back jumper. His patented step-back gets the three-pointer. 27-20. The Friars on a roll here in the second quarter. Williams, we haven't seen much of him in this one. Nice spin move, gets the and one, and that certainly quiets
They needed that.
A much-needed basket, Ron, for Daquan Williams and Rob Page.
Yes, it was a big basket there because it was starting to look real bad. They were on a run, a nice little run there, St. Anthony's was.
Like you said. But it ruined the momentum for St. Anthony.
Yes.
So Williams to the line, following the foul.
Tart's back in, so that's going to help. Now we get Ethan Tart back into the game for Camden, number 1.
Well, here comes again Daquan Williams to the line. And he's got 5. And this is a good timeout, by the way. We want to point out, very good timeout for head coach John Valor.
We have a full
This
timeout.
is a full timeout. We'll take a quick commercial break. St. Anthony with a 27-23 lead here at the Camden Showcase.
Ram Truck Month at Spirit Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Spirit has over 400 vehicles to choose from and 70 trucks on the ground ready to roll today. Drive home a new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab for as low as $149 per month. Spirit Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram will get you driving today. Rates start at 0% with terms up to 84 months. For over 25 years, the Delaware Valley's smartest shoppers have been saving thousands on their new vehicle with the Spirit Saver price. Spirit Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is right off I-95 at the base of the Commodore Barry Bridge. You're only minutes away. Online 24/7 at SpiritChryslerDodgeJeep.com. Spirit, we're selling excitement. Spirit.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. And this here is possibly the last time we may see, well, this is the last time we see St. Anthony's at this gym, as the Camden High School will be torn down in September for the rebuilding of a $1,300,000 school. Wow. With 2 gymnasiums and 2 cafeterias, a state-of-the-art school. So Camden will be torn down. This is the last time St. Anthony's will play in this gym, so what a historical day this is.
It's definitely a very historical day, and again, as mentioned, we hope that for those of you who, again, are watching St. Anthony, we hope will remain open at least another year. Every year, it always does seem like St. Anthony is on the verge of closing its doors. We've been hearing this at least for the last decade. Right now, they lead 27-23 in front of a sellout crowd here at Camden High School. Three-pointer good again.
He's a good shooter.
In the building for Demetrius Plexidas. He's got 7.
Perfect for this system.
Yes.
Could you ask for another big-time shot by Demetrius Plexidas? He's got himself 7.
That was a big basket there to come out of that timeout for St. Anthony's.
The dump off again inside, and that would have counted for Williams. You know the foul watch has to be on Daquan Williams because right now Williams has got it going here. Williams looking to make it 2, and immediately Pearlie's going back to his bench.
Because he's furious because they're giving up interior points over the top, and that's unacceptable in the St. Anthony system.
Lance Bethea and Xavier Aquawavo are returning. As Williams, I believe, hits the first. We do hope, again, as Rob Page was mentioning, as we got back on the air, we do hope that St. Anthony will be with us for the next year and for the years to come. This has been a school that I have enjoyed being a part of, a school that has produced 10 NBA players, the biggest names so far. Kyle Anderson playing for the San Antonio Spurs, Coach Bob Hurley's 2 sons, Danny and Bob Hurley. Bob now the coach at Arizona State, the all-time leader in assists in NCAA history. and Danny, the head coach over at the University of Rhode Island. There's been a lot of great talent over the years. Terry Dahere, Roderick Rhodes, Rob, even I was told when we first met, your son was even getting looked at by Coach Bob Hurley. He was knocking on your son's door, if I'm correct.
That was years ago, in 8th grade, when we ran a basketball camp.
You've got to at least take a little bit of credit that he was looking at your son. I mean, that's how often is it you get to tell people that a Hall of Fame basketball coach was looking at your son? Miles Thompson burns the two-pointer. He's got 11. Thompson having a big first half of play, folks. 11 points as St. Anthony within.
Timeout, St. Anthony's.
Timeout on the floor again with 2:11 left to go. I believe this is going to be a 30-second timeout. Once again, we mentioned this as we were on the air, before we got on the air. St. Anthony's is on the verge of closing its doors. They need $550,000 or they will close forever. Let's hope. I believe.
Well, I don't think that it's going to happen. But today, what we have here is two schools. St. Anthony's possibly closing, Camden High being torn down. Two prestigious high school basketball programs.
Well, gentlemen, let's talk about this because St. Anthony is currently setting up a GoFundMe page, I believe, where you and all can actually go online and put in money as much as you possible. Every penny you could say counts. Even though St. Anthony doesn't have what St. Patrick had, remember this is a school that closed its doors and renamed it the Patrick School and doesn't have the NBA-type players like the Patrick School has.
Right.
St. Anthony does at least have contributors, and I'll tell you this, from what I've been hearing, there's been a lot of great contributors outside of the school that have done their job donations. I am told there is some fundraisers that are coming up that could possibly get them over the 550. Alex Rice back into the game as St. Anthony still with a 3-point lead with less than 2 minutes left to go. Hall of Fame basketball coach Bob Hurley in his 45th season. One of 3 high school coaches in the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. Steal once again. Big opportunity.
All right, Camden with some great defense there.
From behind again. Ethan Tarday hit. Whistles are silent, although I think he turned that over. Rice on the other end. Bump and run. He finds his man Cole. He goes back to the hands again of St. Juste. Inside again. Horton shot. No. Rebound again by the Panthers. Coast to coast on the run. And we'll shoot 2. Could not have asked for a much-needed foul. As again, Camden could be within 1 here. Foul shooting is the key, gentlemen. If they want to stay in this ballgame, they will have to make foul shots.
You know what, guys? Being in arm's length constantly this whole game will help Camden. Don't let it get to 10.
Don't let it get away.
They can hold the ball, and you're done.
Exactly.
After that, you better keep this close all the way through. No bad lulls at all.
Right now, I'm kind of impressed Camden's making their foul shots, which they have not been able to do for the last 4 or 5 years.
And
foul shots for Camden have been horrendous.
Keeson Simmons now with 7 points, looking for 8, and it's a 2-point game. Simmons again 1 for 2. Rob, you just mentioned how it's been a struggle to watch Camden from the line.
Yes, it has. For the last 4 years, it's been tough watching this team shoot foul shots.
Anybody from the Friars again can get hot. In and out miss. I believe that was attempted by Theo Horton. And for the first time since early in the first, the Panthers can tie or take the lead on a 3. They've got their man to do it. Evans in trouble, fouled. I think that was Miles Thompson.
Yes, I believe Miles Thompson got fouled.
22.
The foul is called on St. Anthony's Nika Cheklashville. And if that is, I think that's his first or second. Another miss again, and foul shooting struggles continue for the Panthers.
You don't have a prayer if you're not making consistent
not
foul
against
shots.
this team. Not against this team. You need to make your foul shots.
And right there, the Panthers with an opportunity to tie the game. Under a minute again remaining here in the first half of play. St. Anthony's again trailed 7-2 or 7-0 to start this game. They have come on in a big way, and now they lead 30-28. And Bob Hurley again at his best, calling for the last shot, and rightfully so. This is what happens when you're a Hall of Fame basketball coach.
Yes, it is. He can really coach a good basketball game. he keeps the game in control and the control that he needs it to be in to keep his players in tune and touch with the game.
Well, he does. He finds a way to beat you at your own game because his basketball IQ has got to be through the roof.
Yes.
Again, that taking some time off the clock and a blocking foul. John Valor not happy with the call as we're going to be shooting the 1-1 here.
It was close. It was kind of nickel and diamond.
Called on Camden High School. I'd like to find out who that foul was on, and it was on. Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Alex Rice, I believe, will go to the line here and shoot the 1-1. Rice, a very good foul shooter, by the way, over 80% or better. A rare miss by Rice. And here come the Panthers. They take the lead with a 3. They got their man to do it. Shot won't go. Tarnay fouled.
Tart's fouled.
And as time runs out, Ethan Tarnay line. But now the big question again, as mentioned, 3 straight misses from the line. Let's see if Camden can get at least one.
0.3 seconds left on the clock.
0.3 of a second have just been added.
I don't know if this is a good or bad thing for Camden.
This is a good thing for Camden.
I'm pushing the ball. I'm talking about the free throw line.
No, it's not. But John, the Tart's not bad from the foul line. He's iffy. Hopefully he can sink these 2. We can go in with an even game at halftime.
Yeah. 1 second on the clock.
What do you have? What do you have, Ty?
Bob Hurley again, as mentioned. Now John Valor even coming in. And now they're going to say that now they put 1 second left on the clock. As the foul again called on St. Anthony's, and now both coaches again pleading their case. One said 1 second, one said 5
seconds.
As Ethan Tarnay to the line, his first basket of the night.
So right now we had 1 lead change, and this could be the second tie. And here we go.
Second time tonight indeed by Ethan Tart. Final second again remaining, and the Friars are going to let this one go, and we're going to go into the locker room all tied up at 30 apiece. And just think, Rob and Ron, 2 years ago at this time, St. Anthony had at least a 5 or 6 point lead. It's a whole new ball game.
It's a whole new ball game.
It's halftime, 30-30 between Camden and St. Anthony's. R.J. Cole leading the way with 10, and Miles Thompson with 11 here at the It's All About Sports Broadcasting Network edition of the Camden Showcase here at Camden High School.
Camden High, the castle on the hill, the high, a school, a haven, a home, a family. For 4 years, it was my home, my family. I take great pride in saying that I came out of the high. Over the last 100 years, it's been home to thousands and thousands and thousands of students. But 100 years is a long time. After 100 years, things break down. Despite investments and the efforts of our hard-working custodial team, things stop working. Things start breaking. Things start leaking, start falling, and things start growing. For too long, too little has happened. We could spend a long time, let's be real, a very long time talking about the whys. And then nothing would happen for even longer. So let's talk about action here. And when we need action, we've got more than $100 million coming our way. More than $100 million. It'll mean a brand new building on the same site, the reconstruction of the castle on the hill back into a world-class facility. Finally, entering the 21st century. A traditional district public school with not one, but two brand new gyms and locker rooms. With not one, but two brand new cafeterias. With new science lab where kids can actually do science. With a mock trial room where kids can prepare to be our future leaders. With hallways and classrooms that are neither too hot nor too cold. With walkways that don't flood. And with an auditorium that is safe to sit in. This will be a space that pays respect to the history of the High, while honoring what the school always set out to do, and that's prepare our kids for the future. So stay involved. We all know the history here. We know what's been promised, and we know what's been delivered. We're further along now than we've been before, but stay involved. For now, it's a good day for Camden, and it's a great day to be a Panther.
Oh, look, we've got fees.
Ew, really? Oh, it's our Verizon bill.
Look at them. Line access fee, administrative fees. There are even taxes on top of them.
Decent people shouldn't have to live like this.
Did I get it?
T-Mobile ends surprise fees and taxes. That's right. With T-Mobile One, taxes and fees are now included. 4 lines, $40 each. All unlimited, all in. Learn more at a T-Mobile store.
It's Ram Truck Month at Spirit Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Spirit has over 400 vehicles to choose from and 70 trucks on the ground ready to roll today. Drive home a new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab for as low as $149 per month. Spirit Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram will get you driving today. Rates start at 0% with terms up to 84 months. For over 25 years, the Delaware Valley's smartest shoppers have been saving thousands on their new vehicle with the Spirit Saver price. Spirit Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is right off I-95 at the base of the Commodore Barry Bridge. You're only minutes away. Online 24/7 at SpiritChryslerDodgeJeep.com. Spirit, we're selling excitement. Spirit.
High School Clarence Turner Gymnasium. Jacob Schwartz, Ron Fitch, and Rob Page joining you for the St. Anthony Camden matchup. And gentlemen, what a matchup as expected, rightfully so. Camden off to a 7-0 start. St. Anthony with a great second quarter performance. What's been, Ron, we'll start with you. What's been the big turning point of today's game?
I think the biggest part is the interior scoring of Camden, how they're able to keep St. Anthony's defense honest by going inside, pounding it inside to the bigs, and they were able to consistently score it and break the pressure. So they're not turning the ball over. So it's a half-court game, and they're still in it. And if they can continue to do that, they have a chance to win this game.
Rob, what's been the big part about today's festivities? I mean, Camden is finding its way back. Miles Thompson has pretty much kept Camden in this ball game. Other than the foul shooting performance, what's the thing Camden's going to have to do to pick it up in the second half?
Keep the pressure on offensively. They have to keep pushing the ball up the court, getting the easy shots. Don't let St. Anthony set their defense up. Then also, like you said, the foul shots. When we get fouled, we need to make foul shots. We make foul shots, keep the pressure on them offensively. Camden can walk away with a win here today.
Well, one thing St. Anthony definitely has to do is they must keep their school open. St. Anthony again needs $550,000 by the end of the year, or their school will close forever. So, as you mentioned, Rob, this is a historical day here at Camden High School because this very well could be the last time we ever see St. Anthony here in the South Jersey area. St. Anthony is coming off of another undefeated season, another state championship at NJSI play, and a TOC championship. They are not the same team that we saw from a year ago with the 5 Division I players from Jagan Mosley to Javarius Hayes to Shaquan Gibbs and R.J. Cole and more. But they are a team, again, that is as underrated team as ever, and anybody can be a big scorer on this team. R.J. Cole has gotten things going here with a 10-point performance. But how about the play of Demetrius Flexinas? 7 points for him.
Yes, that's big. That's big. They're getting scoring for players that the last times I've seen St. Anthony's this year, they don't get points from. That's big for them right now. But right now we're at 30. If Camden can push this game to 55, 60 points, they can win this game.
I think they got to turn St. Anthony's
step
over.
up for the Panthers. Besides Miles Thompson, Rob, who needs to step up for the Panthers?
Besides Miles Thompson, Daquan Williams has to step up on the boards and keep doing what he's doing. That's a definite right there. And John Evans has to start hitting his shots.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to tell you something else. They have to hit free throws, especially at the end of the game.
Yes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get ready to get started here for the second half of this game of St. Anthony's and Camden.
What a matchup this has been, again, as mentioned, and it has lived up to his hype, and rightfully so. St. Anthony, nationally ranked in the country, versus one of the top high schools in the state of New Jersey, the pride of South Jersey, the Camden Panthers. These two teams, a history of basketball in their blood. And it should say, what a resume these two programs have had. R.J. Cole starts the second half with the basketball. Cole has led the way with a 10-point performance, headed to Howard University in the nation's capital. His shot will not fall. Cole trying to get his own miss. Cannot. It's a fight for the ball. Williams has it taken away.
That's happened like the third or fourth time to Camden.
Yes, it has.
And they paid for
pass
it.
inside. He finds Xavier Aquawamo. Xavier gets his first field goal of the night, and the St. Anthony Friars are able to get the lead right back. Camden had a perfect opportunity, but again, sloppy play as they are unable to hold on to the basketball, and the Friars capitalize right away. Another bad pass intercepted again by Mika Cheklashvili. Rice on the other end, shot won't go, and there's again, like we mentioned, there's the big Miles Thompson, a man who needs to be effective. Daquan Williams must also be effective, and it's good to have Ethan Tarnay back on the floor after within 10, maybe even 7 seconds into the game, he goes out with injury. He does find his way back in. So really the question is on the health of Tarnay, and Friars called for the foul with about a minute and 15 in the third quarter. Foul on Alexander Rice, again the son of Monmouth State coach King Rice. He's here today. I had the privilege of talking to him before the game. He's certainly got basketball in his blood, Alex Rice. And a great future he has set here at St. Anthony's. So here's Camden again, out off of the foul. Here is Simmons.
Woo! He was wide open.
Tarnay in trouble, finds Williams, 6:33 again left to go. Back into the hands again of Simmons, guarded well again by Rice. Back into the hands again of Thompson. Camden just looking for that right shot, and they're doing a very good job of that. Good crossover Evans. Evans pull-up jumper, shot won't go. Rebound again, and here come the Friars. Here's R.J. Cole. He's got one man to beat. He lays it in.
That was beautiful to do that over the big man. That was very crafty.
Well said, Rod. That's absolutely
good timeout by Camden there.
Well, this is smart basketball again by the Panthers. 34-30 again to St. Anthony on top. It's 4-0 to start the third quarter for the Friars.
Oh, it's our Verizon bill.
Look at them. Line access fee, administrative fees. There are even taxes on top of them.
Decent people shouldn't have to live like this.
Did I get it?
T-Mobile ends surprise fees and taxes. That's right. With T-Mobile One, taxes and fees are now included. 4 lines, $40 each. All unlimited, all in. Learn more at a T-Mobile store.
Okay, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back and getting ready to get this to
Clarence Turner Gymnasium. Jacob Schwartz, Ron Fitz, Rob Page joining us for the Camden Showcase here at Camden Senior High School. Paul Six with a 21-point come-from-behind win over Paulsboro earlier today. Haddonfield with another 1-point win over Ranco, a 3-point win over Ranco Casale. And now here we are in game number 3. The matchup that has drawn the entire state of New Jersey here into the Clarence Turner Gymnasium. Camden and St. Anthony, North versus South. Camden has never won against St. Anthony since 1978. I just said since. No, you understand. I was getting easing it on. So here's Miles Thompson again, right out of the gate. Looks for Williams. The triple on Williams. Shot won't go. And again, there's a pair of flyers and a fight for the ball. The rebound again is mentioned by Nika Cheklashvili. The jump ball will belong again to the Panthers. Panthers again are coming in hungry for the full force. Into the game, Nasir Hinson back in. Hinson back out again. Tarnay 3, good.
That's good.
We got a 1-point game. Big shot by Ethan Tarnay, his 5th point.
That helps right there. With Ethan back in the game, shooting his 3, he gets open a lot, and they need that.
And that was the fire that they needed.
13.
Keeson Simmons called for the personal foul. That's the first team foul in the second half by both teams. As Rice will inbound the basketball. Do you go in the hands of the man, R.J. Cole? Yes, you do. Rice trying to spread the floor here. Back to Horton. Theo Horton, the talented 6'2 junior who could very well be the captain next season for head coach Bob Hurley. Ron, the way you've been describing Theo Horton, he has the makings of being next year's team captain for Coach Bob Hurley.
Definitely. Now, I mean, he hasn't gone off in this game, but I've seen him go off in different games. That's because Camden's defense has been pretty good.
Yes, Camden's defense is pretty good
tonight. And you think Theo Horton can do it all, right?
He can do it all, but Camden's not letting him do anything.
Camden with an opportunity to retake the lead. They have yet to do so since early in the first quarter of play. 3 minutes gone by again here in the third quarter of a packed house at Camden High School, Clarence Turner Gymnasium. Here at the It's All About Sports Broadcasting Network. From the corner. Camden takes a 2-point lead.
And that's your second lead change. Camden's back in the lead.
They did a good job of freeing him up.
Is correct.
I was just got finished saying that Ethan does get open a lot.
Back-to-back threes for Tarnay.
And he makes those threes. Camden is definitely in this game.
Cole on the other end. Aquawabo. Traveling violation. Camden basketball. So already 2 lead changes. And immediately Hurley going deep into his bench. He'll bring in St. Justy and, I believe, Demetrius Plexides. Still no, again, Nigel Marshall, 6'5 junior, out with a knee injury. Only out for a week. He should be back again, as mentioned, next week. Remember, St. Anthony has another tough test coming up. They played St. Augustine this past Tuesday, playing against Camden, and they've got a matchup on Monday against Gill St. Bernard's. A blocking foul called, and we'll have 2 shots for Daquan Williams.
It's a shame we couldn't make that shot right there.
Yeah.
That was big, but he's got to go to the foul and make these 2.
Yeah.
But Rob, you did mention that Daquan Williams has to be more active. What could be more active than that?
Well, that's very active. We got to finish.
He's to the line again, and again the foul shooting struggles continue. St. Anthony's going to call a timeout here, and let's see if this is going to be a 30 or a full.
30-second timeout.
Don't forget, folks, coming up next will be our final game of the Camden Showcase. Bordentown versus Cherokee ought to be a very good game. With these 2 very well-respected South Jersey programs. Also,
I would know about Cherokee because my nephew was the MVP of the state tournament. Wesley Tisdale 5 years ago, they beat Plainfield. They won their one state championship. So I know about Cherokee.
Now, if you want to spend your President's Day, why not spend it with It's All About Sports? We are looking forward to seeing you at Del Castle High School in Wilmington, Delaware. First up, we're going to have North Carolina Prep. After what we saw a few weeks ago at Widener University, North Carolina Prep had a young lady who scored 35 points, might have even been 36. They'll take on Paul the Six girls at 12. We'll then head to boys. It'll be 1 girls game and 3 boys games. St. Thomas More, Lindenwold, 1:30. Howard will take on Parkway Center City of Philadelphia, and then Del Castle take on West Hampton Tech. Should be a great day again of basketball at the 2017 edition of the President's Day Shootout, presented by It's All About Sports. As Daquan Williams goes 1 for 2. He's got himself 8 points. And again, Camden, the lead is 3. Cole for the tie. Got it! Big shot for R.J. Cole.
The Camden coaching staff was screaming because
never underestimate the power of R.J. Cole, because he can get it going.
The play was to take Cole out of his three-point range, and he ran off the screen wide open.
Wide open.
Infuriated the coaching staff.
Thompson open for 3. He's got it again.
They got it back.
Back-to-back threes once again. And Miles Thompson with 14 points.
Miles is on fire right now, and he wants this game bad. Miles needed 35 points coming into this game for his 1,000, the junior, Miles Thompson.
I know that a lot of people have seen Miles Thompson shoot threes. I've never seen him. I've seen him shoot down low. He's as physical.
So then he throws it away. Camden with the defense.
Both ends of the basketball, by the way. Another turnover. We'll go back
I
to
just want to tell you something, Rob. Camden's rotations are
perfectly on defense. Yes, they are. That's that Victor Cross-Starfin defense. Vic has taught these young men some defense.
Yes, he has.
And they're playing. They know how to rotate real well on their defense. Camden hasn't had a problem with the defense. They have a problem with making foul shots and putting the ball in the basket sometimes when they run sets. But if they fast break and get up and down the court and hit those threes and then make their foul shots, they are very hard to beat.
Speedy Dossier hits it.
Daquan Williams. Camden has built a 5-point lead on St. Anthony's here with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left in the third quarter.
And how many, I guess the question is how many players, Rob, need to get in double figures for this Camden team for them to win? And so far, you've had about 2. Again, R.J. Cole with another big basket.
I'll tell you what, guys. If it wasn't for R.J. Cole, Camden would be blowing St. Anthony's out of this gym right now.
Well, we know that R.J. Cole is as good a player as
he got fouled there.
A year ago against Life Center, St. Anthony's almost lost a tough one. But if it weren't for 31 points from Jagan Mosley, the Georgetown Hoya, St. Anthony's probably would have lost that game. There's always one man that makes a difference for St. Anthony's, and that man today is R.J. Cole.
Jump ball, good call.
Jump ball by the officials.
That's a good call. Sorry, Coach Early. That's a good call.
Friar fans not happy with that.
Good call.
As into the game, Nika Cheklashville. And I don't think St. Anthony fans like that one.
No, that was a good call.
The referee making the right decision. It was a jump ball. But it will stay St. Anthony ball. So I don't know why Friar fans have any reason to complain as St. Anthony's without our
Camden comes out of here with that pass. Here they go. Oh, there's a fast break with Daquan Williams. Camden is on the roll, ladies and gentlemen.
Daquan Williams with 12 points. And now the Friars are on the receiving end as Camden leads 44-39. Check Rushville. Back to Horton, back to Aquawavo, back again to...
This has got to go to R.J. Cole.
Cole, the floater, got it! And
he might have to get about 50 tonight.
Game, averaging just around 15 to 20 a game.
I think if I'm Camden, I almost want to double him.
He has certainly shown he is worthy of playing Division I. I think he could play higher than Howard, in my opinion.
I agree.
Thompson into the lane, bump and run. It's got to be a charge, and it is.
Yep.
That is the correct call, by the way. Miles Thompson bulldozed a member of the Friars. Into the game, St. Justy. Into the game, the football player, Curtis Huff. Also, John Evans is back into the ballgame. That was a big-time offensive foul.
Yes, that was a big-time offensive foul. That really was.
Needed that one. They absolutely needed that one. And now it's into the hands again of R.J. Cole, who I would like to go on record and say I think that guy could have played the All-American game in Chicago. He's one of the most talented players in all of New Jersey. and he shows what a team player and a team captain is all about.
Now I'm Camden. I'm running 2, maybe even 3 guys after him.
Here's Cole again with the basketball. Back into the hands again of Horton. Shot good, and it's a 1-point game thanks to Ideal Horton at 9 points for him. Let's see if the Panthers can answer here with 25 seconds remaining in the third. Good defensive pressure again by St. Justy. And a traveling violation.
That's
it's a blocking foul.
Not like a walk.
I have to agree with St. Anthony's. There's no question in my mind that was a travel. If it's on St. Justy, I think that's his 4th personal. They go back into the hands again of Nasir Hinson. Hinson with 11 seconds again remaining here in the third quarter. Hinson guarded well again, as mentioned by Bryce. Somebody's going to have to shoot it here. It's Hinson. He's in trouble. He's got to get it off. And that'll do it. So 3 quarters in the books. Camden could be 1 win away from knocking off the nationally ranked Friars for the first time in 39 years. They have a 4-point lead here at the Camden Showcase.
Last regular season home game here at the High. Cherry Hill West High School in the house. Game time. 5:30 p.m. on the floor.
Spirit has over 400 vehicles to choose from and 70 trucks on the ground ready to roll today. Drive home a new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab for as low as $149 per month. Spirit Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram will get you driving today. Rates start at 0% with terms up to 84 months. For over 25 years, the Delaware Valley's smartest shoppers have been saving thousands on their new vehicle with the Spirit Saver price. Spirit Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is right off I-95 at the base of the Commodore Barry Bridge. You're only minutes away. Online 24/7 at SpiritChryslerDodgeJeep.com. Spirit, we're selling excitement. Spirit.
8 minutes away from possibly one of the biggest upsets here in the state of New Jersey at Camden High School, the Clarence Hearn Gymnasium. The Camden Showcase, Jacob Schwartz, Ron Fitch, and Rob Page. Ron Fitch, we thank you again from Coast to Coast Sports for joining us here today, for coming all the way down from Central New Jersey.
North Jersey. Linden, North Jersey.
Still,
yeah, it's a long ride.
You're almost as close to St. Anthony's.
Yeah, I know.
However, you have come to the right place.
Yes.
Camden and St. Anthony's,
definitely.
a true North and South battle. In the last 2 years, St. Anthony has defeated Camden 2 years ago, a classic game that St. Anthony was able to win. They survived in that game. Camden has certainly played every step here with St. Anthony.
I tell you what they're doing. Camden's guards are turning the corner. That's not easy against St. Anthony's.
In trouble is Tarde. Back to Simmons. From the corner, Thompson, no. Rebound out of bounds. It goes Thompson trying to keep it alive. He cannot. And it will go back to the Friars. It will go back to the defending NJSIA Group B state champions, as well as TOC champions. Again, their resume certainly as impressive as ever. A Hall of Fame basketball coach, 10 NBA players that have gone through that program. Camden has had a very good resume of their own, highlighted by New Jersey's all-time leading scorer, DeJuan Wagner.
Good trap by Camden.
Good foul by St. Anthony's.
Good trap by Camden. Good foul by St. Anthony's there.
That's a great foul by St. Anthony's.
Evans is hurt a little bit there.
Yes, that's why, Rob, we should be fortunate that Checklishville did not intentionally foul Evans, because that looked like a very hard foul, by the way.
Yes, it was. I think Evans got cramps there.
We should be thankful that it was just a hard foul, not an intentional foul. And I think St. Anthony fans and players and teammates are fortunate that wasn't intentional, because that could have been disastrous. But Camden will get it back here with that 1-point lead. Brought up again by John Evans. Guarded again well by R.J. Cole. Simmons lost it. Here comes Rice. He's got one man to beat.
Counter basket.
Will not
basket's
count. Not
no.
continuation.
It was out front on the floor.
In fact, it was well on the
Third personal. 14 foul.
I think
That was
even
close,
St.
though.
Anthony fans have to know that was far on the floor. A minute again, as mentioned, gone by. Aquawamo inside, and St. Anthony's has a 1-point lead. Camden having a little trouble getting the ball in bounds. Let's see if the high can answer here.
They want.
Evans in trouble and a foul. It's going to be on Czechlasville. Czechlasville called for the personal foul.
Third personal, 5-team foul.
There was no question that that was a foul called on the Friars because there was definitely some contact. Rice playing good defensive pressure again on Evans. Evans.
This is that pressure defense by St.
Evans
Anthony.
again to the lane.
No foul there.
Oh, Williams
But
gets
he's
it down.
turning the corner, and that's the key. That's allowing the
Williams
offensive
gives
rebound.
Camden the fourth lead of the game.
John Evans is still limping. Looks like he's got a cramp out there.
I don't think he cares. I think he wants this game.
He wants
14
this game
points
bad.
each for Daquan Williams and Miles Thompson. 46-45. These two teams trading baskets. Cole is fouled and he'll shoot two. Never count out again the Friars. This game's a long, long way from over.
We've had 4 lead changes in this game so far.
Again, 4 lead changes in this game. Cole to the line, and he hits. And he is a good foul shooter, almost 90% or better. Nasir hits it back.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It's been 5 lead changes in this game.
Okay, back and forth. 5 lead changes.
This could be 6 coming up.
We haven't had a whole lot of times, that is for sure. Cole already over 20, averages around 20.
No,
a rare miss by Cole, as we are tied for maybe the second or third time here tonight.
We're tied for the fourth time.
Again. Skip passes it out. Tarnay for the lead. It's good.
Falling to that.
And for the 7th time tonight, the Panthers take a 3-point lead. Horton on the other end. Hit hard, whistle silent. It's a fight for the ball. And the Panthers come up with it.
Camden is really out hustling St. Anthony's right now. St. Anthony's looks like they're sucking some wind right now. Camden has St. Anthony's on the wheel.
Back into the hands again of John Evans. And he's fouled by Plexinos. Not a good foul by the Friars. What do you think Bob Hurley's going to be saying after that foul?
And that puts them in the 1-1.
Oh, you got to make these free throws. Oh, boy.
That's not a smart foul in any type of way.
Okay, yeah.
That's not a smart foul, and we know that.
Okay, that's the 6th one. Okay.
We did
Camden's putting some pressure on. Camden's really putting some offensive pressure on St. Anthony's. But in return, St. Anthony's putting off defensive pressure back on Camden. This is a great game, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, nice move. Nice pass.
Thompson's got the lane and scores. He bumped and run. Then he saw the lane, comes in and lays it in.
Camden back with a 5-point lead.
16 points again for Miles Thompson. Backcourt foul. Camden put
the pressure on. Camden's put the pressure on.
Do you think RJ Cole is tired? Because he played the whole game, he's doing all the scoring.
Yes, he's doing everything for them. I can think he's tired.
Do you take him out for a minute?
Yeah, I think you almost have to. Looks like we got a timeout for St. Anthony's.
Yes.
4:55 left to play here at Camden High School's Clarence Turner Gymnasium. Camden could be on the verge of an upset against nationally ranked St. Anthony.
Full timeout.
Ew, really?
Oh, it's our Verizon bill.
Look at them. Line access fee, administrative fees, there are even taxes on top of them.
Decent people shouldn't have to live like this.
Did I get it?
T-Mobile ends surprise fees and taxes. That's right. With
It's Ram Truck Month at Spirit Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Spirit has over 400 vehicles to choose from and 70 trucks on the ground ready to roll today. Drive home a new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab for as low as $149 per month. Spirit Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram will get you driving today. Rates start at 0% with terms up to 84 months. For over 25 years, the Delaware Valley's smartest shoppers have been saving thousands on their new vehicle with the Spirit Saver price. Spirit Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is right off I-95 at the base of the Commodore Barry Bridge. You're only minutes away. Online 24/7 at SpiritChryslerDodgeJeep.com. Spirit, we're selling excitement. Spirit.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, back here at Clarence Surge Gymnasium for It's All About Sports Broadcasting Network, the Camden Showcase. Jacob Schwartz, Rob Page, here with us again, as mentioned, and Ron Finch from Coast to Coast Radio. What a night we have, ladies and gentlemen. We've had a lot of one-point games, and we have another classic one here. This is a 5-pointer, and it's in favor of Camden, who could be on the verge of knocking off nationally ranked St. Anthony's for the first time in 39 years. Right now, they've got a 5-point lead here.
John Evans.
John Evans has got it going on here.
John is still limping around, but he's toughing this out. I see some heart here out of these young men.
The Panthers have it going on here. It's 54-46, and I believe it's the largest lead of the night since it was 7-0 early in the first quarter. R.J. Cole, he's been their go-to guy with a game high of 20 points. Cole, Rice from the wing, answers on the other end, and you never leave a guy like Alex Rice open. Only 5 points, but he can be very, very effective down the stretch, and he shows his true presence. 54-49 once again. Wow. St. Anthony ball.
You can't have an unforced turnover against St. Anthony. That's a recipe for disaster.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's the
Believe me, Ethan Trutt will come back and make up for that. He takes that to heart.
Oh, yes.
And that's the turnover again, folks, that St. Anthony was looking for. Now they can answer here and try to make this a one-possession game. Rice again gets it back. A holding foul committed by Hinson. And that was sort of a foul to give, I guess, for Camden.
Playing the physical, no wrong with that.
Remember, one foul away from being in the bonus.
Don't give it to him, twin.
Should say Camden actually one foul away from being in the bonus. I meant to say St. Anthony.
Yeah, St. Anthony's one away, Camden's 2 away.
All right, here's R.J. Cole with the basketball. He's the guy that really is the person you keep an eye on.
I think he's going to look to distribute. I don't think he's going to look to score. He's going to look to pass. Maybe.
Home. Inside Aquawavo. Shot is good, and it's a 3-point game.
54-51 with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left.
We don't get to see much of Xavier Aquawavo, but I'll tell you what, whenever we get to see him play, he always can create. He's got his team down to a 3-point game. We're approaching 3 minutes. Everybody in the building, again, as mentioned, has not left. Nobody is expected to leave. And St. Anthony's, after a rare turnover again, has an opportunity to tie it up with a 3.
This is where it's worry time because St. Anthony's has been there, done that all the time.
Yes, they have. They're used to this.
Yes.
This crowd, again, as mentioned, has been here this entire game. They're not going anywhere until this one is over, and neither are we. We'll stay here all night if we have to, no matter how many overtimes that we will have. Cole, guarded well again, as mentioned by Rice. Rice, back to Horton. Horton's been certainly a hot hand as well.
Yeah, he's been quiet since Tart has been in there on him. He hasn't been done much at all.
Here's Cole again, the floater. Oh. He's got it at the end one. And now the Friars are 1 shot away from tying this game for the 3rd time here tonight. 4 in a row scored by the TOC and NJSI state champion Friars.
Wow, I'm amazed that Howard is able to get him.
Yes, indeed. Howard got a steal when he got him.
And Cole answers, trying to get the 3-point play, and he does not get it to go. A rare miss again by Cole.
I believe he's tired.
Yeah.
Cole might be showing signs of fatigue, like you said. 1-point lead for Camden. Basket again for Evans. We haven't seen a lot of John Evans scoring today. In fact, Evans has been battling, I guess you could say, tightness in his
Camden has to play good defense and no breakdowns.
A 3-point game again. 2 minutes remaining. Camden, St. Anthony's, North versus South on the It's All About Sports Broadcasting Network here at Camden High School. Horton. Aquawavo. Rice for the tie. Yes! Another big hit this time. It's Alex Rice. 8 for Alex Rice. Tie game. Third tie here tonight. 56 all. 97 left to play here in regulation.
What a
Evans
shot.
Again, that won't go, and St. Anthony can take their first lead here in the fourth quarter.
With a minute 25 seconds left in the game, ladies and gentlemen, we're tied.
Does Hurley hold this ball?
Last shot.
And this is how it's supposed to go down. Two talented New Jersey programs battling it
I'll
out.
tell you what, I'll say this much, win or lose, Camden showed a lot of heart and pride today.
Well, it's not over just yet. Camden can still win this one.
He's going
as
for the
we
final
are now approaching 1 minute remaining here in regulation. Cole is fouled, and we're going to have a one-on-one situation because the next foul puts both teams over the limit. Camden is the first to do just that, and R.J. Cole can give his team the lead right here with one, at least if not two, foul shots.
If he makes these, if I'm Camden, I'll run Ethan off for a
Foul
three-point
on
shot
John Evans.
to take the lead.
Yes.
Don't even waste time.
Don't even waste time, right? Don't even waste time.
Here's R.J.
You live or
Cole
die with that.
Right.
Cole. He's got it, and it's a 1-point St. Anthony lead. A game high of 23 points for R.J. Cole. Headed again to Howard University in the nation's capital next season. The left-hander to the line, takes his time, and hits a pair. Big 2 shots for R.J. Cole.
There we go, under a minute.
Here comes Camden with an opportunity to tie or take the lead on a 3. Evans, Thompson for the lead. Go! Camden's got a 1-point lead.
Miles Thompson
with 19, his third 3 of the night. Oh my God, Miles Thompson is hitting 3-pointers. It's a 1-point Camden lead with 46.3 left to play at the Clarence Center Gymnasium. It's All About Sports Broadcasting Network.
Really?
Oh, it's our Verizon bill.
Look at them. Line access fee, administrative fees. There are even taxes on top of them.
Decent people shouldn't have to live like this.
Did I get it?
T-Mobile ends.
It's Ram Truck Month at Spirit Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Spirit has over 400 vehicles to choose from and 70 trucks on the ground ready to roll today. Drive home a new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab for as low as $149 per month. Spirit Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram will get you driving today. Rates start at 0% with terms up to 84 months. For over 25 years, the Delaware Valley's smartest shoppers have been saving thousands on their new vehicle with the Spirit Saver price. Spirit Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is right off I-95 at the base of the Commodore Barry Bridge. You're only minutes away. Online 24/7 at SpiritChryslerDodgeJeep.com. Spirit, we're selling excitement. Spirit.
North versus South here at the Camden Showcase. Camden and St. Anthony. Jacob Schwartz, Rob Page, and Coast to Coast Sports Radio. Ron Finch joining us. What a matchup, gentlemen. This has been here tonight in what has been a battle of lead changes. Here's St. Anthony with an opportunity with 46 seconds to go.
I'm going to Cole or Rice.
Would love to do something it has never done since 1978, and that's to knock off nationally ranked St. Anthony.
I'll say this much, this is Coach Hurley's game right here. This is what he loves.
Yep.
He can call a play here.
This is like watching the Super Bowl with Tom Brady.
I think they're going to run it. I think they're going to run it down. I thought they were running down to call timeout, but
St. Anthony almost getting away with a travel.
Timeout.
And Bob Hurley will slow things down.
He wasn't ready for the zone.
No.
Gentlemen, as we mentioned, this is Bob Hurley.
Full timeout.
It's like Bob.
I think we'll stay here. We will not take a break here.
Now, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Do you go back to man or do you go? He's got a zone play he's about to run.
Yes, he
Do you
does.
go back to man?
Yes, you switch back.
Well, let's talk about this. Gentlemen, let's talk about this for just a second.
You go matchup zone.
We have a 1-point lead.
Yes.
Pressure situation again as Camden holds a 1-point lead here. Who do you expect to give the ball to for St. Anthony's? I'm saying R.J. Cole.
I say R.J. Cole also. R.J. Cole will be getting the ball.
Yes, maybe use him as a decoy. Try to get plexiglass open, or possibly Alex Rice. This is a good opportunity for a sophomore like Rice.
I don't think you take that opportunity. You let Cole get that shot off and hope for the rebound from the other guy. Because if you don't gather with Cole, you could get a turnover out of this. Camden's been tough underneath on defense.
Gentlemen, both of these teams have battled their way here in this one. Camden started this game on a 7-0 run. St. Anthony had a great second quarter. Both teams certainly battled in the third, and both teams have done it here. Miles Thompson with a go-ahead three to give Camden a 1-point lead. And who would have thought, with less than a minute to go, Camden would actually be up, because in the last 2 years that I have seen Camden St. Anthony's, St. Anthony's has had control of this game.
22.8 seconds left in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, Camden can hold St. Anthony's. They'll do something they haven't done in 39 years, and that's knock off St. Anthony's. Cole, back to Rice. Rice in trouble. Guarded well by Evans. Back to Cole. Down to 12. It's down to 11. Down to 10. Here is Cole. Cole for the lead. Oh! And R.J. Cole delivers. Final seconds again. Here this one. Tardy. Oh, good. And the St. Anthony Flyers come away with a 1-point victory. You said it best. R.J. Cole does it again. 26 points. John Evans was the one, by the way, attempting the winning shot, fumbles the ball, gets it back out. Hats off again. Go to the Camden Panthers. A 1-point victory again.
Yeah. We got to get the interview.
Final score again, ladies and gentlemen. St. Anthony Flyers 60, Camden 59. St. Anthony goes to the 20-4, winners of 7 in a row as the defending TOC and NGSIA state champions with another much-needed victory. 19 for Miles Thompson was among 3 players in double figures. R.J. Cole, It's All About Sports player of the game with 26 points and the go-ahead shot. We're going to head to the post-game show, get you set for Morgantown, Cherokee. Congrats go out to Bob Hurley and St. Anthony's 60-59. They are victorious.
Camden High, the castle on the hill, the high, a school, a haven, a home, a family. For 4 years, it was my home, my family. I take great pride in saying that I came out of the high. Over the last 100 years, it's been home to thousands and thousands and thousands of students. But 100 years is a long time. After 100 years, things break down. Despite investments and the efforts of our hard-working custodial team, things stop working. Things start breaking. things start leaking, start falling, and things start growing. For too long, too little has happened. We could spend a long time, let's be real, a very long time talking about the whys. And then nothing would happen for even longer. So let's talk about action here. And when we need action, we've got more than $100 million coming our way. More than $100 million. It'll mean a brand new building on the same site, the reconstruction of the castle on the hill back into a world-class facility. Finally, entering the 21st century. A traditional district public school with not one, but two brand new gyms and locker rooms. With not one, but two brand new cafeterias. With new science labs where kids can actually do science. With a mock trial room where kids can prepare to be our future leaders. With hallways and classrooms that are neither too hot nor too cold. With walkways that don't flood. And with an auditorium that is safe to sit in. This will be a space that pays respect to the history of the High, while honoring what the school always set out to do, and that's prepare our kids for the future. So stay involved. We all know the history here. We know what's been promised, and we know what's been delivered. We're further along now than we've been before, but stay involved. For now, it's a good day for Camden, and it's a great day to be a Panther.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Clarence Turner Gymnasium for the It's All About Sports Camden Showcase for It's All About Sports Broadcast Network. Jacob Schwartz and Ron Finch joining us, and happy to be joined by a man that, what a history I have with this young man over here. 45 years of coaching in the making and still going on strong as St. Anthony wins yet another one. A thriller against Camden 60-59. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to see you, by the way. And just talk about how you drew up that last play to RJ.
Well, I think everybody in the building knows where the ball was going to go, whether they were going to play man or zone. We were going to put it in his hands and try to bring a big kid just to screen the ball. And if he drew people, he was going to pitch it. And it was either going to be Horton or Rice would shoot the ball if RJ couldn't find something. But as a guard, as a creative point guard, he took one angle, didn't get it, changed speeds, got himself in the crease, and wound up with rarely do you get a shot that's that clean at about 13 feet to win a game.
Now
Just a terrific high school game.
Let me ask you something. They switched to a zone. Did that surprise your team? And then when you went to the huddle, did you run a zone play?
Well, we were coming out ready to run zone play, and my assistant Tom Lalicato said, "Let's make sure we have man." So we decided.
Just in case, I thought about that.
So now what we were going to do is we were going to be in a 1-3-1 set.
Okay.
And whether he was going to screen the zone to get it back to RJ, or whether we were going to just come high ball screen, we were going to play off him and let him
now,
make that decision.
Now, if they doubled or tripled RJ, and they took the option, what was the second option? Because I know you got second option.
Well, those other two, I think we needed to take one of the either Rice or Horton. If they were rotating, trying to trap, we needed to hit it to the middle and then kick it to the sides and try to get a shot from either one of them. If the other two had taken a shot, I don't know. The result would have been as positive as getting one of the three guards to get a shot there.
Well, let's talk about what you have had coming up and now what you'll have coming up. Last week against a good friend of yours, Paul Rodeo, St. Augustine Prep. Camden today, and then of course Jeremy Treatman's Classic Play-by-Play Showcase, where you'll take on Gil St. Bernard. It's always a competition in the New Jersey area. What do you think you need to do to keep this thing going? Paul Mulcahy, one of the top shooters in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, they'll just be, no disrespect to St. Bernard, Gil St. Bernard, they'll just be the next tough team we play. And we've played so many tough games. We just hope that we get our best inside kid has been out for the last couple games, Nigel Marshall.
Yes.
So today it was evident around the basket. They just, both number 5 and number 12 today just dominated around the basket. And we just had enough, honestly, on the perimeter to win. But we still got Coastal Academy, which is a post-grad team. We've got Eustis in Jersey City, and we have Gil St. Bernard, and then the states begin. So I think the expression is what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So as long as we can get that one kid back, we like where we'll be, because we've had probably 12, 15 close games against quality teams. And this was big today because we won a game against a very good team on the road. We've been great at home, not as good on the road, because there's only one returning kid, and that's Cole.
And you've got and you really have, because a lot of people were talking about this could very well be the last time St. Anthony could ever take the floor. I am told that things are going very well. You have some fundraisers coming up. The latest I heard is at $550,000. What is the latest?
Yeah, we're in that million. I can't even believe I'm using these numbers. But we're in about the million. If you checked how much money I have on me right now, my wife didn't even give me, my allowance today. So we need about $500,000. We have to the end of June. We run one big dinner, which is like a Hall of Fame dinner, and then we're perhaps going to run some kind of celebrity basketball game and try to get some people in the basketball community at national level, perhaps to try to come in and do something, maybe in the Prudential Center or someplace where we can get a big crowd. And then the second part of it is maybe do something of a concert nature that same day. And maybe between the two things, we can raise that money. The other thing is we have to go into next year, if we're fortunate enough to come back. We've got to streamline. So we've raised tuition. We have to be more efficient with staff, which kind of means downsizing. And that's just the nature sometimes of being able to address the issues as they are.
Final question for you. As the defending TOC and state champions, you do have, like you said, a very tough task ahead the next few weeks. What will be the mindset to finish out the season and moving forward to try to repeat as both state and TOC champions?
Well, I think just finishing these last 3 games and gaining from the games, taking advantage of the experience. This was a great experience. We'll be on the bus all the way home now, the cheese bus going up the turnpike, talking about everything that happened in the game. Tomorrow morning, we're on the floor at 8:30. We'll be on the floor a little after 10, and at 10 o'clock, we'll be watching film of Gil St. Bernard. And what we're trying to teach the kids is preparation meets opportunity. And we have to work all the time to be ready. If we didn't take care of every little thing that we did, we would have had no chance today, because there was so much fight in them, and they did such a good job around the basket of just offensive rebounding. And, the pick and pop with bigs, their jump shots that they hit, they were terrific, and we were lucky to, just to be 1 point better.
Such a good win today. How about a cheesesteak on me? No, I'm only teasing.
No, after this game, Coach needs a nap on the bus. Okay? I need to take my jacket. All of us who have done high school coaching, fold my jacket up into a pillow right now, slide down in these very tight seats, and go to have some dreams of what just accomplished, what we just did.
Ron Fitch and Jacob Schwartz here at the Clarence Turner Gymnasium here with our good buddy Bob Hurley Sr., the Hall of Fame basketball coach here at St. Anthony's. Coach Hurley, congratulations again as always, and we'll see you hopefully down the road.
Thank you. Thanks.
Bob Hurley Sr. again joining us at the Clarence Turner Gymnasium. St. Anthony 60-59 over Camden. Coming up next, the final game of the 2017 Camden Shootout. It'll be Bordentown and Cherokee up next.